Hey, what's up, everyone? I don't know what it is, but every time I try to make a fucking video, the goddamn heater's going. Anyhow, I haven't made a video in some time. I have a few new subscribers, and I appreciate that. I know I say it all the time, but I really do. I'm not the most popular person. I don't get the most fucking views, but, you know, I'm happy with the views I get. I'm happy with my subscribers, etc. I haven't made a video in some time, and that's just because, I really didn't have a whole lot to talk about. I'm not the kind of person that gets involved in drama shit generally. Which brings me to kind of a... I don't know, I'll explain why I'm doing this video. Generally speaking, I don't go and try to find Christians to debunk and to fuck with. I don't like to do that. It's like, why should I? That's not my job. Plus, I'm friends with plenty of Christians on here. And we have an understanding. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to try to deconvert you as long as you don't try to convert me. And all the Christians I know of are cool with me. Probably because I treat them like everyone else. Anyhow, I tried to do this video before, but it turned into like 30 fucking minutes. Actually, 30 plus minutes. And I think having like 3 parts is a little presumptuous of me, and I think it's a little much to ask my subscribers to watch these in their entirety. So instead, I'm going to just try to do this. Hopefully it'll just be like 2 parts, but I'm going to try to cut them down so they're like shorter parts. Not fucking 15-minute long videos. Anyhow, I guess I was on the list of atheists to get a video from a guy named I35. And the video was called The Top 16 Most Impaired Mistakes Atheists Make. Now, like I said, I tried to do all of these and debunk them all, and it just got too long, so I said I'm just going to go through some of the worst ones, some of the dumbest ones. Let's go ahead and get started on this. I don't want it to be longer than it has to be. Number 1. They continuously fail to provide evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. Really? You're going to use that stupid fucking shock of God talking point? Yo, you can't prove atheism is accurate and correct. I just don't believe. You haven't given me the fucking evidence to support it. That's it. You're making the fucking positive assertion. I'm sorry. That's why atheists don't believe. It's like if someone tries to convince someone of Santa Claus and they have no proof, so are they supposed to just believe it on faith alone? I'm sorry. Atheists and agnostics, they just say, I don't have the proof necessary to believe it. You haven't provided me with any. You try to use the Bible, and I'm sorry, that's not good enough for me. I go by real world shit. Next one, this is number 4. They're usually confusing the terms evolution with variation within the kinds, and like using that as an example of evolutionism. Happening right before our eyes when it's not. Sorry, I kind of fucked up how I said that sentence. They're confusing not only themselves but others too. No, we're not. First off, that's what evolution explains. Variation within species. I know some people, like idiots like Ben Stein, which you mentioned later on in the fucking video, he said, oh, it doesn't explain how we got here. Nor did it ever. That's abiogenesis. Evolution explains variation within species. In fact, you don't know what you're talking about, so I don't know why you're even trying to use that as a fucking argument. That's what it explains. That explains why there's different colored people, why there's different kinds of animals that, adapted to certain environments. That's what it explains. So, obviously, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You're trying to twist shit around. Number 5. When claiming God is harsh and evil, besides all the misconceptions and misunderstandings, they are refuting and contradicting their very position, when it's supposedly no big deal if God already doesn't exist in their mind, and when the Bible is the very doctrine that defines what's harsh and evil. Well, first off, he's the kind of, this fucking, oh fuck it, I'll just talk directly to you, eye to eye. I'm going to post this as a video response anyway. Why can't you put the O in God? Later in the video you put Lord. Why is this such a bad thing to you? To put God. You were describing him. I don't think he's going to be mad if you fucking put no in there. And by the way, I don't say God is harsh and evil. I say the God of the Bible is pretty damn harsh, though. He does a lot of bad shit. And yeah, he did. He wiped out lots of people. So yeah, that's pretty damn harsh. If it's harsh when people do it, it's harsh when a God does it. I'm sorry. And that's not contradicting my fucking self. I'm saying that is a character in my eyes. Just like Claudius is a character in my eyes, and Claudius was harsh. He was an asshole. That's all we're saying. We're saying you expect me to believe that. And by the way, the Bible is the very book that defines good, harsh and evil. Other books do too. So, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to get at there. 7. Degenerated atheists cannot be trusted with the word religion because the manner in which they use it is way beyond... Why'd you use a comma when you didn't need one? Is way beyond crazy and confusing. They claim to be against religion when they're really only out to bash the gospel, a message that is the polar opposite to religion, and using all sorts of flawed reasons as to why they're against it. But they really don't seem to mind Eastern religions, and it seems like they'd love teaming up with Muslims to profess the same sarcastic rubbish that Christians, Jews, and Muslims all worship the same God, when they're totally ignorant of the reality that Muslims have a totally different God than the Jews and the Christians. Okay, well, first off, you have a religion, and I'm tired of Christians, and I know it's not a lot of them. Well, maybe there is a lot, but not in my experience. I have met Christians like, it's not a religion, it's a relationship with God. No, it's a fucking religion. Do you have doctrines to follow? Okay, that's a fucking religion, okay? Atheism is not a religion because we don't have a book saying, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. No, we go by the law, our common sense, and our own sense of morality. I'm sorry, nothing has told me, don't eat meat. I just do that on my own. That's not a religion, though. It's just something I do. It's a choice I've made. And, by the way, how is the gospel the polar opposite of religion? It's not. It's telling you, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. That's what all religions do. And flawed reasons to why I'm against it? No, I didn't say I'm against religion. I just don't believe in it. Maybe some atheists say they're against it. I'm not. But, by the way, it seems weird that you seem to be against Islam. They don't have this. It's a completely different God. No, it's not. In fact, if you knew anything, Muslims, a lot of them believe Jesus Christ was a prophet of God. They don't think he's the son, but they think he's a prophet. Islam is based a lot on the Old Testament. Part of Sharia law is the Ten Commandments. So yes, it's the same fucking God. And by the way, with that same logic, you could say Jews and Christians worship a different God. Jews don't believe Christ was the fucking Savior. They don't think he was the Messiah or the Son of God. They don't. So using your fucking flawed reasoning, you all worship 3 different gods. So, I know you're trying to make a point here, but it doesn't make any sense. If you just think about it for more than a couple minutes, it makes no sense, and it falls apart. Number 9, they try to profess that they don't believe in the Bible because of science. They can't fool me. They're really hiding behind that word to mean evolutionism and millions of years, not a legitimate science, and are ignorant of the fact that nearly all branches of science were established by Bible-believing Christians, and that science has repeatedly confirmed many areas of study in the Bible. Science and the Bible go along just fine, but not with religion and ideologies. First off, it's not evolutionism, it's just evolution. It's a fucking scientific theory, meaning it's a fact. Everything has backed it up. And I don't say I don't believe in the Bible because of science. That, helps to say that. It's like, well, the Bible, it says just God created everything, and they're the way they were. The way they were back then is the way they are now, unless they're extinct. Which, no, sorry, that's not the case. Man and dinosaurs did not live side by side, and this is a fact. And you're a fucking moron for even trying to say it. And yes, it is legitimate science to say the universe is millions. Actually, it's billions of years old. We've confirmed this. You guys haven't provided any evidence to, go against that.